Hello garden friends, it's time to garden. I'm on my way to plant some Russian comfrey. I have been meaning to put this in the garden for a long time, and I just had to do some research on comfrey to figure out which one I wanted, and I settled on this Russian comfrey because it's supposed to be less likely to kind of take over your garden. So it does not spread kind of like the regular comfrey does, and I believe the flowers are sterile, so it doesn't spread that way. And I was looking for a good spot to put it in. Now, let me walk you through the garden. Say hi to the little plants. They are doing great. If you'd seen this bed a couple of weeks ago, it looked like it had little miniature dots in it, and now they look like plants. But as usual, I digress. We're planting comfrey today. So I have a spot here where I planted some, okay, garden story time. It's a little funny. I planted here some Swiss chard, but at the time when I planted it, don't laugh at me, I thought it was rhubarb. Yes, I thought it was rhubarb. So what happened was I went on Etsy to get seeds for rhubarb, and instead, yes, you guessed it, I bought Swiss chard rhubarb seeds. So it's actually Swiss chard, but I think because the stems look like the stems of a rhubarb, it's called rhubarb Swiss chard. Didn't read. Reading is fundamental. Did not read it properly. So I planted it and it came up, and I just didn't even research to look at the leaves and decide if it is actually rhubarb. I've never had rhubarb before, so didn't even think about it. And then eventually planted it out here thinking it was rhubarb. And as I know, rhubarb is not eaten up by rabbits. And it's been out here. It's not being eaten by rabbits. So I was continuing in my delusion until one day I was like, it looks too much like Swiss chard. And then I researched it and found out it's indeed not rhubarb. So I'm going to be pulling this one up because I want this space. I think I'm going to put the comfrey here. So let's do that. So I've relocated my fake rhubarb and I hope she likes it here. Look at this ground cover, the moss. Isn't that pretty? Look. And now it's time. The time has come to put this comfrey in the ground. Now I got 2 cuttings. I got this from, say hi to my shadow. I got the cuttings from Strictly Medicinal, and like I said, they're Russian comfrey. And I got 2 cuttings, so let me show you. See, it's already starting to try to root there. And you're supposed to put the roots down, of course, and then the crown part up, and bury the crown at least 1 inch in the ground so it's not sticking up in the ground. So, and I have 2 holes. You want to choose a spot you want to keep him in. So it should be somewhere that receives good sun, and this area does. There is a bit of shade during the day, but it does get enough sun, I believe. And you want to choose a place you're not going to be moving it from, because it does make really deep tap roots, which is the whole point. It goes deep into the soil and pulls up nutrients way down in the soil where other plants don't usually reach, and brings it up to the surface in its leaves, and then you use those leaves as compost. So let's go ahead and plant these. Now, I think I was holding it upside down the first time. If I wasn't, this is going to be a costly mistake, but this is the part that's growing, so this should be up, I believe. That makes more sense. This is probably the bottom part of the crown, and then because this was kind of growing up this way, I guess we'll find out. Wait, so 2 holes, one there, one there. I'm gonna plant the one in the back first. Let's go in here. Let's see if it fits. I think I need to make this hole a little bit deeper because it's supposed to be buried an inch in the ground. Make it a little bit deeper. Okay, so a tad bit deeper, and I'm going to maybe lay it on the side, kind of like that. That way, if I did plant it upside down, maybe it will still figure it out. It's comfrey after all. So, cover this all up. And I'll come back and give it a watering and mark the spot. So, there. Time for the next one. Okay, in you go, baby. Cover you up. Pat you down and call you done. So there it is. Put in the comfrey, and like I said, I'm gonna water it, and hopefully in a few days I'll see some growth. And just from some randomness, the raspberries I planted I think a week ago, beginning to do. You see that? It's budding, starting to grow. I'm excited because the last raspberry I planted did not grow. All my fault, I didn't plant it soon after I got it, so the roots did dry out. And here we are a little bit later. This has definitely done so well. Look at the leaves. It's growing beautifully. It does have some bug damage, but it doesn't matter. This is going to be a huge plant. And there's the sister right there. They're doing very well, and I think they like the spot I put them in. Now remember, if you're going to plant comfrey, put it in the spot where you actually want it and don't have any plans to move it, because these roots grow really deep and you will have a very hard time. Dare I say, it's impossible to move them or get rid of them. So put them where you know you wouldn't want to remove them later. So give it some thought before you move them, before you plant them. So there you go. This is 1, and that is 2, definitely established. So glad to have finally planted my fertilizer plants. That's what I'm calling them. I'm going to use them to make some homemade fertilizer, to do some chop and drop. I'm excited. So thank you for joining me as I planted some comfrey. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video if you liked the video, or if you like me. Subscribe, and until next time, may you always find joy in your garden and your life. Goodbye, garden friends.